Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Today, we are kind of focusing, I can't even talk today. Mercury retrograde is still in full effect. And we are focusing on the lunar eclipse, which is happening in the sign of sidereal or Vedic Libra and Western or tropical Scorpio. Almost said Libra again. See, Mercury retrograde, full effect. But yeah, how are you guys feeling? You will have to let me know in the chat. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Deep D. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, and if you're new here, you might realize very soon that I don't take the traditional astrological approach to breaking down these eclipse energies for everybody. I don't really see these eclipse energies or really any planetary alignment as for our benefit. If anything, it is to let us know what our programming and what the matrix system has in store for us potential wise. That all being said, I think knowledge is power, so I do personally like to tune in to know what is expected, energetically speaking, with all of this eclipse energy, so that I know how to prepare myself to possibly step out of the matrix by using my free will, because most people do not use their free will. They think they do. They are being nudged and pulled in one direction or another. But a lot of times that is not their free will speaking, that is their soul. Which, again, if you've been following me for any length of time, you'll know that a soul is a matrix construct as well. It is not who we truly and actually are. Our spirit is who we truly and actually are outside of this matrix. The soul is basically, like a job title, if, for lack of a better word. If you start a new job, you get a job title. That does not mean that's who you are when you're not at this job. But when you're at the job, when you're on the job, that is who you are. That is the role you fill, and the things that you do is your job title. So your soul is kind of like your job title from lifetime to lifetime. It keeps the score and the tally, the karma from lifetime to lifetime. So yes, it does feel very much a part of who we are, and we probably do resonate with a great deal of our soul. But when we can integrate that soul aspect of us into our spirit, that's when we can really come alive and shine, and not just be submissive to the energies at play. We can basically be that glitch in the matrix that we love to be, and really embody our true essence. Yes, talk about energy. I've been having major nightmares since the last 3 nights, from having a car exploding to a head injury for a loved one, etc. But my mom wasn't there every time. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna ask true source not to reincarnate me, right? I know so many of us are just like, we're tired, we're road weary, we are ready to just go back from whence we came and just have a nice vacation over there. I know at least I am. Yes, nightmares. That is on my, well, I didn't write it down. I have a couple other things on my list, but I had to push live to go live, but I was writing down just a couple of things. Very vivid dreams. They don't necessarily have to be nightmares, but depending where this eclipse is taking place in your personal chart, if it's taking place in your 12th house, 8th house, 4th house, where else? 9th house, 3rd house, also 6th and 7th house. I guess that's what's coming to me for those that are having really vivid dreams, possible nightmare energy. But if we are setting that intention every night before we go to sleep to not go to the astral realm, instead to align with our true spirit and move beyond this matrix while we sleep, so we can get that true healing, that true rest that is in alignment with our original blueprint of our spirit, that can really benefit you. Does not mean that you won't here and there find your way back into the astral realm by accident, because it happens. But if you wake up in the night a lot like I do, you can always reset that intention, recenter yourself in alignment with your true spirit, your true essence, and you usually have a lot better time than if you just don't set any intention and you just find yourself wherever it is you find yourself. At least it takes practice, though. That's one thing is, when I first started doing it, it was working like a dream every night, no pun intended. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. I'm never gonna have to go to the astral realm again. But then I got all cocky, like, yeah, I got this. And then I found myself back in the astral realm. But I realized that if I wake up in the night, it's almost like I have to reset that intention for myself, because I wake up and it almost just null and voids the intention I set. And then I set it again, and I set it again every time I wake up in the night. So yeah, and it can be exhausting and it can be a lot of work, but I think it's been paying off for me personally, just with what I've had experience wise with my dream state. And even if you kind of avoid the astral realm at night, you're still hooked in or, connected to your own subconscious, which there can be a lot of shadows lurking in our own subconscious. So, just because you're having what we would consider bad dreams or nightmare energies doesn't necessarily mean you are playing in the astral realm. You could just be playing in your own subconscious mind, playing out your greatest fears, and maybe even overcoming some of those great fears that you have by going to your subconscious or really having a meeting or a union with your subconscious to really play out some things. It doesn't always have to be bad though. This can go on the other side of the spectrum and we can have good things happen as well. But yeah, let's see. Same with the nightmares, Amber. Yeah, Cheyenne's in agreement there. And Stardust said same, lots of mixed up, non-sensible dreams. Yep. My moon, oh yeah, your moon is in the 6th house. That's right, Amber. I was so exhausted on Wednesday. I slept for 2 hours soon after I left your live. Oh, well, I hope that gave you, fingers crossed that gave you that energy bump that you needed. You set an intention any way you see fit, but probably the easiest way is what I do. You can either say it out loud or inside your head, but before I go to bed, or set any kind of intention. It doesn't just have to be your bedtime. Don't go to the dumpster fire of the astral realm. Anytime I set an intention, I just say exactly what I want to experience. And I even, in the new age community, they say, oh, don't frame things in a negative mindset. Like, I don't go to the astral realm, because then you'll go to the astral realm. I don't really see it that way so much anymore. I do like to qualify my intentions with what I want rather than what I don't want. But a lot of times I'll also include what I don't want and then reaffirm what I do want. And that seems to work better. Because when I was just saying, certain things, but not mentioning that I don't want to go to the astral realm, I found myself a lot more in the astral realm because I wasn't saying no to it. Because when you say no, you do put up that boundary. So I think it's, I'm kind of still deconstructing my own programming around not framing things in a negative mind and only saying what we do not, what we don't want. But a lot of times, us as humans are so confused and conflicted and programmed, brainwashed. We don't know what we want, but we can usually very clearly point to what we don't want. And that could be a very good starting point. So, that might just be a good thing to do is if you do know what you want, of course, state it loud and proud, sandwich effect. State what you want, say what you don't want, and then state again what you want. And I think you'll cover your bases. You should be good. All right. So, Amber, you're back to ground zero. Today I wrote down everything I wanted to let go and just burn the paper and then wash away the ashes. Yeah, that's a very powerful way to, set an intention as well. Writing it down, using as many of the elements as possible. Writing something on paper is the earth element. Burning that paper, of course, is the fire element. And then the smoke that comes from the paper is the air element. You can then wash the ashes away with the water element. And of course, your intention and putting your, spell or intention into it is that ether or, spirit element as well. So yeah, we can totally manipulate our energies like that. I do believe it still feel unbelievable. Yeah, but we've been so conditioned, so programmed to think we aren't very powerful. And especially those people in life, myself included, that have always struggled to get ahead in life or to, be able to make something that you are putting your love and time and effort into really take off and be very abundant and successful. I've always struggled with that from day one. But and especially probably those of us that struggle to really solidify ourselves in the material world, we actually are at a bit of an advantage because a lot of us are dreamers. A lot of us know that the potential should be much higher than they actually are for us. And when we can just really tune into our power in those more subtle realms rather than the physical reality, we can then start to solidify it and see it happen in our physical reality. It takes a lot of practice and it can be very difficult, especially when we get frustrated seeing certain things just aren't working out. But us remembering that we're not the only one playing this game. There's other humans, there's AI, there's, negative entities out there, in the field. So it's like, we are co-creating what's going on with all these other energies. So when we can remember that we're not the only horse in this race, but yet we do have a lot of power over how we perceive our reality. We have a lot of power over how we react and respond to our reality, but maybe not what reality is created in general until we start really setting intentions. And usually it'll take a while for those intentions to start being seen in the more material realms, because the physical is it takes the longest for something to manifest in the physical, which I think for us humans here, it's probably for the best, because if we have all these thoughts and subconscious programming, it takes a long time for that to then manifest in the physical. As far as disease, a lot of disease will show up first in the more spiritual realms, then the emotional, then the mental, and then the physical, which I guess is kind of a saving grace for us. But it's kind of, a catch-22 when we want to be able to manifest some money or abundance or a great home or, something in the more physical or material world. It can feel very daunting. It doesn't mean we're not powerful, because we are. It just takes a little longer to manifest something in the physical. But yeah, we have that eclipse is in full effect as of right now. We got Mercury retrograde in the mix. We've got some other planets. It's of course opposite this lunar eclipse, because it's with the sun right now, across from where the eclipse is taking place, with the moon currently, yes, in sidereal Libra and Western Scorpio. I had to remember for a second. And of course the sun and Mercury are in Vedic Aries, and they might be they're definitely in Taurus for Western astrology. So whichever one you follow, I just kind of leave the energy as it is and just tune into what's actually going on in the stars. You want to interpret that through the sign of Scorpio for this eclipse, or the sign of Libra for this eclipse. That's totally up to you. It's still going to resonate either way. I'm going to catch up on your comments, and then we're going to get into our nice little collective reading, just how we can take our power back. And I also talk about some of my little points I've written down here. But let's see. Yeah, so hi guys, catching up. My heart rate has been up to 130 the past few nights, if that means anything. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. You're having a physical reaction to something going on. When I keep crystals near my head, I sleep in semi-conscious mode and get up 2 to 3 times without crystals. It's deep sleep. Not sure why. Yeah, certain types of crystals, like especially when I first got my moldavite. This is just one. Well, used to be one. It broke in half. This used to be an angel chime moldavite that our wonderful Just Sandy, who comes here to the chat, sent me. And within 5 minutes of owning this, at 5:55 p.m., it literally jumped out of my hand and broke in half. No more angel chime. You can maybe hear that, maybe. It doesn't do its wonderful chime anymore. And at first I was devastated, but yeah. Anyway, that all being said, moldavite is one of those crystals that will keep you up. It's very difficult for most people, until you really tune your energy to it, to get some solid sleep with this by your bedside. Or if you have a variety of different crystals, that can be another thing. The energies, some of them are energizing, others of them are calming. And when you put them all together, it can sometimes create, energetic kind of chaos or noise that you're picking up subconsciously that might keep you awake. And I personally can sleep really well with, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's crystals all over my house. But like amethyst, I have this really big chunk like this of amethyst right next to my bed, and it really never leaves my bedside table unless I'm cleansing it or charging it or something, which is pretty rare. I maybe do that once every 3 months or so. But I do really well sleeping with amethyst, and it's supposed to be a very relaxing, calming, good sleep aid type stone. Also selenite is as well. But there's certain people in my life that I know that just don't get that restful sleep with the amethyst next to them. So you're just going to kind of have to use your own intuition and do your own kind of experimentation with different crystals next to you or farther away from you, just to see if that makes any difference for yourself. Yeah. So we are conditioned, and by, oh wait, can we really manipulate our energies like that? I do believe it. It still feels unbelievable. Yeah. Why are we conditioned, and by whom? Okay, so basically this realm, this matrix that we're living in, it once was like an original natural creation, and then something, and we'll just leave this open-ended because it's not, 100% known exactly who these entities are, came in and hijacked what was natural and organic here, and high vibrational, if you want to put it that way, and put their own net over it, and basically imprisoned the natural elements and the creatures and the people here, and dumbed them down or programmed them down, switched off certain DNA, and made things more controllable. This grid, this natural world used to have free universal energy. And way back in the day, and maybe not so far in our distant future, maybe as early as the 1800s, we had power. Like you plug, it's probably a different way of power, but they had lights, they had power. We weren't living in the dark and with lanterns and candle magic, only in the past. But our history books say otherwise. But there's a lot of research. You can look up Tartaria and the mud floods, and that will probably be enough to get you started as to what our true history was. There's been a lot of resets as far back as recently as the late 1800s going into the early 1900s. Look up the orphan trains, look up the sanitariums, look up, again, Tartaria, mud flood, look them up. That information is out there. It's not probably in many history books, but there are old maps and vestiges from the past that you can find in certain writings that can point to the fact that this was our history before it was tried to be wiped, clean slate, reset. And they're trying to do yet another reset, between now and 2030. Look up Agenda 2030. Yeah, there's a lot that we don't know about what's going on. And even those that feel like they are in the know are just probably scratching the surface of what's actually our reality and our truth. We probably, everything we learn in school besides probably mathematics is totally wrong, backwards, a lie. I mean, insert here, even scientific principles, even if they seem to work formulaically speaking, there's some sort of control or grid or suppression put on it. Like me just tuning into the theory of gravity. I don't think gravity is really a thing. I think there's a different scientific explanation as to why. And for me personally, it feels more magnetic than the fact that, there's so much else going on. But if you just take into account the fact that the human perception on the visible light spectrum is anywhere, I've seen people say 1%, I've seen people say 5%. So I'll just be liberal and say anywhere between 1% and 5% is all we can sense with our eyes of what's actually going on. So that should tell you we've been dumbed down, suppressed to only see 1% to 5% of what, as true of this as this reality can get. That's all we can see. So yeah. Oh yeah, Scarlett says amethyst does feel chaotic and it's supposed to be the it stone for me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's where your intuition comes in handy, Scarlett, is for you to be able to tune in and say, yeah, I don't know that this is exactly my stone. I'm going to go find my stone. And one of the best ways you can do that, by the way, if you have no idea what stone is meant for you, you can go to any crystal shop or, rock, gem show, whatever it is that's in your area. And without any kind of preconceived notions or doing any kind of research or studying, just go in there and just see what you're drawn to. See what catches your eye. See what magnetically attracts you. And those are most likely your crystals. Amber says, one more interesting thing happened. Yesterday I saw 444. At the same time, someone in my husband's meeting said angel, and the series I was watching was talking about angels too. Oh my goodness. What a synchronicity. Stardust says, oh my God, this does make sound what what? Am I like Mercury retrograding this? Let's see. This does make sound that why we should be aware of Matrix, because it actually is an unseen prison. Yeah, absolutely. We don't see the prison bars. And even if you just think us being born and then being in a system, whether you live in the UK or Ireland or the US or Mexico or Australia or anywhere that's, considered like a modern day, first world country, basically, we just don't have true freedom, because so many people are debt slaves to have to go work to then put the next meal on the table. We can't just live freely and abundantly and work together with the land and just make our way that way. So many of us are, in the system in one way or another. Many of us are dependent, on the power grid, the electricity. Many of us are dependent on that next paycheck to be able to, keep going in life. We can't just be nomads and live off the land. I mean, certain people can and do and love that and thrive, but others, most of us, are programmed and conditioned to be in the system, be another cog in the machine. But the more dependent and self sufficient and sustaining we can become in and of ourselves, the better off we're going to be. It might be a little more difficult, living off grid and all that, but at least we won't have those chains or those invisible bars around us as much as those that are in the systems. Yeah. Amber, you know why? So much. I'm very interested in these talks. Are you adding them in a book also? Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be cool. Wouldn't that? As far as me, my writing is more, I guess, fiction with lots of sprinkles of what I consider more truth than what we've been fed anyway, put in there in a very, storyteller kind of way, to where, I mean, some of the best truths through history have been passed down, not through this is the way it was, sense of history, but more through works of fiction, works of fable and myth. A lot of truth is passed down in fable, story, and myth for sure. Let's see. So yeah, you're actually tempting me to say no to all the things the Matrix has for me. Go free will, right? And Vicky bought a chevron amethyst mediumship skull called Joy, and I put it under my pillow last night. Interesting dreams already. Cool. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong at all with experimenting and just, I wonder if I dream with this crystal under my pillow or around my pillow, what's going to happen for me? I love doing my own little personal experimentation with crystals, with energy, with setting intentions, with all sorts of things. And I love then checking back in with you guys just to see what's been going on. Yeah. Amber took the cards out after that happened, and the card I got was, if you want to believe in the existence of angels, almost like Spirit was joking, but the second card out was yes. Oh, interesting. Linda was asking for a 1-card pull, donating shortly. Awesome, Linda. Well, can't wait to see what your question is. Yeah, I think I'm all caught up with the comments now. I might take off this other little shirt. It's not little, but it's a little warm in here. Take this shirt off. By little, I think I meant thin. Like, it's not very thick shirt, but it was just keeping me warm enough to, start my day, I guess. So now it's warm in here, and now I can feel like I breathe a little better. But yes, let's just see what these eclipse energies are presenting, and of course, how we can rise above them. I was going to touch on my points. This cycle, happening, this eclipse cycle is going to last us through to the end of October-ish. I'm not sure when the next eclipse cycle kicks off, but sometime in October, I do believe. Could be early November, but somewhere, 6 months from now, these eclipse cycles go in 6-month intervals. So over the next 6 months, we're going to see a lot of relationship cycles shifting, changing, morphing, ending, closing out, renewing. New relationships coming into your life, old relationships dying away or leaving. Doesn't mean people are dying, but the relationship itself. And usually when the eclipse happens, it's already those relationships that you already know aren't, the best. Those are usually the ones closing out. We also have a lot of secrets being revealed, coming to light, and secrets could be in your own personal life. And secrets in the realm of wherever this eclipse is taking place for you. For me personally, I'm following Vedic/sidereal astrology. This eclipse is happening in my first house, on my ascendant, kind of far away from my ascendant, so it won't be like a major transformation, secrets revealed to me, about me, or for myself. I like to hide a lot of my own potential away. I have Mars and Saturn in my 12th house. Pluto on my ascendant, so it usually takes a really big catastrophe in my life for me to epiphany, aha moment. Okay, now I get it. That's just how I roll, I guess. And I do also have my Jupiter in the first house, so I'm constantly shifting, my belief systems and where I fit in the world, in different modalities and belief systems and healing and all of that. So I'm constantly shifting and changing in that regard, because Pluto is also in my first house, so it's a party over here, let me tell you. But yeah, for me personally, this will be, a big secret revealed about my relationship with myself. And also, because the sun is directly opposite, relationships with all the other people in my life. 7th house are the other people in our lives. The 7th house is also more specifically like a spouse. And for Amber, this eclipse happening in her, let's see, this would be in your second house, right? Let me just see. Well, per Vedic astrology, this would be in your second house. So yeah, that would be, secrets revealed with your finances, or maybe more finances coming in. Usually because, the sun would be transiting your eighth house, I do believe. At least Vedically speaking, that's not a word, I just made it up. Finances surrounding like your husband's money. Like those are just a couple of examples. So you can see it's not just the house that the eclipse is taking place in, it's also the house directly opposite. And if you have any planets mixed up in where these eclipses are happening, say, for me personally, it's not right on my Jupiter, but it's close enough to the Jupiter. Hello, Taryn. Lupo's Lithomancy is here. Hello, hello. Yeah, so I have Jupiter there. Pluto's way, way off in the distance, so I wouldn't really include that as being included in this eclipse energy. But there might be some major secrets revealed to me personally, just because my Jupiter's mixed up in the fact that, okay, maybe some belief systems that I had just aren't holding their weight anymore, and I'm getting to a deeper truth. And also Jupiter rules my third and my sixth house, so there might be some big changes coming to the way I show up online. Big changes coming to my writing. Third house also is writing. Short distance travel. Maybe I'm making more travel trips, out to my in-laws' house, which live at a short distance. Or, sixth house. That's my health. That's my daily routines. That's my enemies. That's my pets. So most likely, yay, I'm going to be getting a pet in the next 6 months. And hopefully, if I have it my way, 2, maybe 3 pets. 2 dogs and a cat would be my ideal. But if I can just squeeze out 2 dogs, squeeze my husband and like, yeah, let's get 2 dogs, I will settle for that. I'll be happy. Yeah, he's kind of more of the mind of, okay, whoa. We just lost our dogs. Let's recalibrate. Let's see where we're at. Let's replace the flooring downstairs. And then we'll look at getting dogs. And I'm like, I need a new dog yesterday. I miss having a dog. And not to replace my dogs. I mean, I had my dogs in my life for 17 and 15 years. I mean, these dogs were so a part of our family that, it's weird to even just wake up and know that they're not there anymore. And hence why I have my background picture as my wonderful, here's my Piggy Wolf, that's Walter. And there's Judith, aka Side Boob or Hootie Doll. He was also Piggy Wolf and Sir Hasselhoof, like David Hasselhoff, but Hasselhoof. We call him Hoof. We call him all sorts of things. Yeah, so I still keep their spirit very much alive. And it was very interesting because last night, normally if there's like entities in the home, I can really sense when they're around. I didn't sense entities. I sensed a very familiar presence last night, and we felt like some, like vibrations on the floor and heard something going on the floor. And my husband and I both at the same time were like, "It's Walter." So I'm pretty sure Walter was just paying a little visit to us last night, and it was very cool, very calming to me. I loved it. Let's see. Let me catch up on comments again, and then we're gonna dive into our collective. Yeah, so let's just see. Hello, Brianna. Welcome, my dear. Yes. Family still don't know about the license. Wonder, will they see me and will that come out? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Cheyenne. Who knows, right? And secrets don't always have to be a bad thing, just something that most people don't know about you, or, secrets on a grander scale, because these eclipses also affect, and it's not a full lunar eclipse, like a total lunar eclipse. It's a partial lunar eclipse. So the potency of it isn't as strong as if it was a full lunar eclipse. And the eclipses are most potent where they are in totality. So, the great American eclipse we had in 2017 and we'll have again in 2024 is going to be very transformational for the US for sure. But I know some of the more recent eclipses we've had have really affected India, like the, European countries as well. Yeah, let's see. Make sure I'm not skipping anybody here. Yeah, sending eclipse love from Lupo's Lithomancy. Love it. Oh, Lilith in the second house, and don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm not real up on all the Western astrology stuff with like Chiron and Lilith and all the different asteroids and whatnot. But yeah, I know there's a lot of Western astrologers that understand that a lot more than, let's say, I would. Amber and Amanda, I'm sorry, I mixed up your names. Oh, no worries. That's so funny because in school, people would call me Amber all the time. And then my brother married a girl named Amber, and people would always call her Amanda by accident, and they call me Amber by accident. Not like when we were together, but like just throughout our lives, she always got called Amanda. I always got called Amber. Oh, it looks like we have an ad coming in 5 seconds. So if you got taken away, I apologize. But yeah, I'm going to catch up on comments, and then we're going to dive into our collective when everybody's back from the nice little ad break there. And I always say the ad break might have a message in it for you. You know, where your attention goes, your energy flows. There might be a reason you're getting whatever specific ad you got at that specific time. Who knows? Oh, but my mistake also, we come to know Amber also wishes to write a book, right? Awesome. I love it. The more the merrier. Yep. Oh, Jupiter's in your first house in Virgo with Saturn and Pluto. Yeah, Saturn is just shy of my first house. It's in my 12th house. Same nakshatra as my ascendant and my Pluto, though, as well. Yeah. But we are very similar age, for sure, Amber. I know you may have graduated a year before me, and some of those outer planets take a while. Jupiter being an outer planet, Saturn and Pluto all being outer planets. So yeah, we probably have very similar alignments, just, you know, dispersed through the different houses in a different way. Yep. All right. Oh, Stardust is also from India. That's awesome. Yeah, we've got a lot of people from India, either living in India or transplanted from India to other countries. That's so cool. I love it. I love Indian people. I love the culture. I just can't get enough. And speaking of books, my main character is a quarter Indian, like not Native American, but, you know, from India, and her grandmother's from India in my book. It's just me, you know, being able to pay love to my Indian friends. I love it. Oh, for me, Amanda named people are very spiritual. One more Amanda I know is also super spiritual like you. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I've known Amandas all over the gamut, from, you know, in trouble with the law to super religious to spiritual to I don't give an F to, you know, I know a lot of Amandas. I am the transplanted kind. That's awesome. Oh, Linda's question is in PayPal. Thank you for letting me know, Amber. Or Linda, sorry. All right, let's get into our collective, and then we will get into our donation reads. And it appears thus far we've got 3 1-card reads, or 2. I'm still not seeing Linda's come through quite yet, but it might take a moment. No worries. Yeah, so let's get into our collective. These eclipse energies, what all of us watching now, or anyone who will watch the replay, what do they need to know? How this eclipse will personally affect them. And of course, if anything comes out in this reading that you're just like, yeah, don't want to go down that road, don't want to experience. Again, utilizing your free will, connecting to your true spirit can help you, you know, navigate these energies to where you don't have to have some big tower moment like a lot of other people do who are just being tossed to the waves of life. All right, so let's see what we can personally experience during these eclipses. All right, wow. 2 major arcanas. So this is going to be pretty transformational for all of us that are watching. It's almost like we are seeing through the illusion of this traditional systems, through traditional spirituality, traditional religion. We're finding a new way forward. We were just talking about writing books, and we do have a book being passed. So those of you that are my writers, bloggers, you know, anyone who writes, it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical book, fiction or nonfiction, that you're writing. Just the writings that you're creating really are being channeled through your own true spirit, which is very, yeah, we got Linda's coming through. I just saw it pop up. Thank you, Linda. So you're almost like channeling or downloading books worth of wisdom, whether you're writing this down or just utilizing these as, you know, shifting of belief systems, because we do have seeing through the veil of illusion, really tuning deeper into what is true to your spirit. And not just trusting what's, you know, even in your physical reality, things you have physical proof of, not just trusting what you can see with your eyes, because our eyes can even play tricks on us when we have this, you know, inorganic matrix placed over the organic matrix. Seeing isn't always believing. And in fact, sometimes we can believe a different way than what we're seeing and come up with a different result. So there might be a major shift in belief systems, especially the belief systems you have that really surround anything that is traditional or any kind of system that's in place that maybe you once have aligned with and now you're not really aligning with it anymore. You're shifting maybe even the ways you're investing money, investing your time, your effort, your attention is shifting to be more in alignment with your true spirit, more in alignment with your more spiritual senses. Let's see. Love you too, Amber, including, oh, Amanda, including Amber. I don't know why, but Amber, your name is continuously coming in my mind and jumping into text. Oh, that is so cool. Lupo's Lithomancy says, I was thinking about writing a few little fun skits to shake it up. Do it, do it, do it. Yeah, especially because I'm sure they would have some sort of spiritual alignment or tilt to them. And how interesting, I'm just now noticing this. The book is being handed from true spirit or source, God, the original source creator, not the, gods of this matrix, but the original source creator that created everything. The source code. I just heard the source code. So that source code of your true spirit is handing you the knowledge and wisdom. And then your human aspect is opening that book and learning something, even turning the page here. First, I thought it was like cleavage or something, but no, that she's turning the page. She is really indulging and, like soaking up the energy and information that is being given to her from her true source code or true spirit. I love that. So that's what we're going to be experiencing, is just an unlocking of our inner wisdom. Oh, Linda was also thinking of writing a book. Well, hey, now would be a great time to get that going. Yeah, source code like spirit connected. I love that. Yeah, divine feminine with knowledge, for sure, for sure. Really tuning into our intuition and not just our like gut instinct and that, hairs going up on the back of your neck to kind of warn you something is either, dangerous or really resonating. Yeah, as an IT person, source code is giving you a different meaning. And, I almost wonder, Gitsaleka, if the way that we, do like computer coding, programming, all of this isn't somehow based, because I know it is all mathematically based, but this, probably the false matrix, but also I know the original matrix, it's all math. I mean, you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you decode it through math. So I'm wondering if, the way our computer systems run isn't somehow a copy or a very close, I don't know, in alignment somehow with how our reality is coded. To me, it makes sense. Ooh, death card. Yeah, we are walking away from old versions of ourselves. This is Phoenix rising from the ashes. So 3 major arcanas coming in with this lunar eclipse, which is very interesting because whenever the next total lunar eclipse is, which I'm wondering if that eclipse that's coming 6 months from now is a total eclipse in some part of the world, especially if that's the case. But whenever that next total lunar eclipse is, even if it's not total in your area, if there is a totality in some part of the world, it's going to have a ripple effect to everywhere. But the moths really do represent, transformation through our shadow more. And we do have the moths over here on the page, on the canvas on the wall as well. So to me, this really is this internal transformation. It's going to shift you from the inside out. And then you'll start to see this new energy being reflected in the external. But many of us are going to have to let go of either old belief systems, old versions of ourselves. Some of you might even be shifting your physical appearance greatly or drastically between this eclipse and the next total lunar eclipse. Again, that I don't know if the next lunar eclipse 6 months from now is a total lunar eclipse or if it's just another partial. But either way, between now and the next total lunar eclipse, many of us are shifting from the inside out. We're really redesigning ourselves. And this could even be like an aging in reverse kind of thing, or just feeling even better. Like, oh, sorry about that. I think that happened a few minutes ago as well. I'm going to turn my ringer off just for the time being. But yeah, what I was saying, where was I? What was I saying? Yeah, shifting from the inside out. And a lot of times when we start to make these major changes on the inside, we can look around and see that our outer reality still remains very much the same. And it can be very, at times, frustrating that I'm doing all this work and nothing's changing. No, you are changing. You are changing. Things even that don't appear to be changing are changing on, some subtle level. Everything is always shifting. Everything is always growing, morphing, and changing. So are you. And especially if you're setting major intentions to let go of what's not serving you, it can still be difficult. Even the good changes we want to make in life aren't always a walk in the park or roses and rainbows and the easiest thing ever. But when we set our intention behind any thing that we want to change or grow in our lives, that is almost like, acting as a major battery to help power the changes we want to make. All right. So how can we rise above these eclipse energies for our benefit? Ooh, yeah, there's multiple timelines available. So you don't have to just hop on the nearest timeline and just write it out. If you don't like what you're experiencing, again, using your free will, setting your intentions to experience something better, something different, something more in alignment with your true spirit, which might not resonate with your more ego or soul essence. But when you are in more alignment with your true spirit, that makes it even more difficult to resonate in this more 3D realm or 3D reality, because we are getting farther and farther away from the resonance of this reality when we level up. But that doesn't mean we can't bring some of these timelines together, converge some of these timelines to get on timelines where we actually do feel in the flow, where we do feel supported because our external is now matching our internal. That's when you know you've shifted timelines, is when you are seeing all that hard work you put in on the inside reflected back to you on the outside. And again, it doesn't mean that if you're not seeing it right away that you didn't do the work right or you didn't do enough. No, sometimes these things just take time, because again, it's not just our energy we're messing with or trying to manipulate to make things happen. We have to have other people on board, and a lot of the collective of humanity just isn't where a lot of people are. But that doesn't mean you can't shift yourself to higher timelines where more people are on your wavelength. Okay, let's just see anything else we need to know. Oh, we do have Justice on the back of the deck here and the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, this eclipse is happening in Libra for those sidereal/Vedic lovers out there. But this is just about continuing to do the grind, to put in the effort, to put in the work, especially those of you that have started something new as of 2023. Almost said 2022. So some of you, this might have been something you started back in 2022, and you're still making it work and learning more and growing more. Yeah, Libra love. I'm a Libra ascendant. Yeah. I love my Libra friends and everybody. I love Libras so much. I just vibe with pretty much everybody I can vibe with on some level, but Libras, there's a special place in my heart for Libras for sure. But yeah, continuing to learn, to grow, to research, to put that effort into something is going to pay off in a huge, huge way. So if you're not seeing those results right away, please don't give up. Please, there's overwhelm, there's feeling burdened, like all of these, I'm doing all of this work, but nothing's really panning out for me. Please know that that's about to change majorly by the next eclipse cycle. Between now and October, things are shifting to where you're going to start to see your results from your hard work, which is nice. It's nice. I can sit there right now and say, that would be nice. Yes, there's that Lotus energy with opening. We are opening ourselves to that greater potential, shifting timelines to where our work is supporting us, where our work is bringing in, the effort that we're putting in is bringing in, the money. And even to where we're going to be able to not have to work so hard, but the money's still going to be coming in, which is great. So yeah, being open to these changes, being open to receive what is due to you. And so many of us are programmed to feel, hard work. You got to work hard to earn your money. That's something that was kind of instilled in me by probably both my mom and my dad. They were both very hard workers. And one of them, I'm not going to say who, held on to their money a lot better than the other. But I had two very different examples of hard work paying off in different ways. But I'm still trying to reprogram myself to where I don't feel that every, blood, sweat, and tear, it's like trying to bleed water out of a rock to try to get any compensation for the work that I do. And I grew up with both of my parents kind of telling me, you're not going to get anything in life if you don't work damn hard for it. So yeah, that might be one of the belief systems that's shifting for many of us here, is this belief that we have to work so hard for just pennies on a dollar. All right, we also have Fish with flexibility. So this is about being more flexible, being more open to new opportunities. Those of you that are already overwhelmed with the current opportunities and just maybe confused about all the options available, sometimes, less is more as far as being able to take those couple of opportunities you have. But when you have a lot of opportunities, that can be overwhelming. That can be almost, you're just kind of in that analysis paralysis. So the best bet here for you would be to kind of hone in or focus in on just one or two major things, especially if you're trying to make money. Focus in on one or two major ways that you're doing this or accomplishing this, and put your effort and focus there. And then as you really start to grow that, you can then branch out to other things. All right, let's see. I'm one from this deck. Closing final statements for our collective reading. Anything else we need to know, those of us watching now or the replay, for these eclipse energies and how we can rise above anything we don't want to have to experience. What was I just saying about rising above? Yes, climb the spiral ladder one step at a time. We got the number 41 there. And we've got that eagle energy. I'm reading that as a bald eagle, which, you know, the bald eagle is a representation of freedom. So us freeing ourselves one step at a time by climbing that spiral ladder of growth. Because a lot of times we think things are a cycle, which yes, absolutely they are. But when we leave point A and return to point A, we've got that knowledge and experience of the journey all the way around the wheel. So it's not just a circle, it's a spiral. So we're elevating, we're learning, we're growing as we either completely go off the rails or completely level up or whatever it is. We're learning everything along the way. So we can take that knowledge and wisdom, even if we're learning very tough lessons. That can be some of the best ways I personally learn, is through those tough lessons in life. You know, say you invest in something that was a bad investment, and you lose all your money with something. Next time you're ready to invest, you're going to be much more careful, do a lot more research, and not just trust what certain people are saying. You're going to make sure this is the best bet for you, rather than just throw your money around again. At least most people learn really well when they get, you know, you burn your hand once, you're not going to put it in the fire again. And that's kind of the vibe that's coming up, is one and done with these different lessons. You're going to get the lesson right away and not have to continue to repeat these cycles to then have to finally learn the lesson after 20 rounds around the, you know, spiral. All right, I feel like I need one more. Where are we going? Let's go to this deck. Closing arguments, anything else we need to know. Eclipse energies, next 6 months. Ooh, the power of three witchy sisters. So you working with two other people, or at least two other people. I mean, I think it can be more than 3 people involved, but the more you get certain people, not just you, but amplify that energy times 3 with 2 other people or more, can really help you grow whatever it is you're doing in life. Whether this is you leveling up yourself, of course, that's a very self-centric journey. You're going to have to tune into yourself, validate, you know, information through your inner self, all of this. But you can have 2 other people to help support you, and maybe you're supporting them on their level up. Or if you are, I don't know, starting a business and you want to kind of network and work with people, something coming up with Lupo's Lithomancy and myself, we're kind of, you know, safety in numbers. We're working together, and, you know, it would be me and Taryn and Lorelei all together working. So that would be very fabulous, coming together and, you know, amplifying that energy more than just trying to all do it on our own. And it doesn't mean that one person's doing the work and the other people are riding coattails or anything like this. No, this feels very supportive, like a, you know, like a tripod. You can't do it without one of those energies there for the support, right? And each person is doing their share and their work, but with the support of the other 2 to have their back is really what I see. Or 3 or 4 or 5 or however many, but at least 3 energies. So you, and, you know, if it's you and a partner, and then you have, you know, a child, or you and a partner and, you know, a parent or a friend, or you and 2 other friends. I mean, it might look different for each of you, and it might even be more than just 2 other people besides yourself. But really, this is about forming community and connecting and having relationships with other people, because this eclipse is happening in that, you know, Vedic sidereal sign of Libra, which is about our relationships and our connections, both intimate and otherwise. So wow, I think this is a pretty powerful and potent reading as far as what we stand to gain through utilizing these energies to our advantage rather than letting them take us for a ride. All right, let's get all these put back, and we're going to be starting out with Vicky's 1 card, then Cheyenne is on deck, and then we also have a reading for Linda, a 1 card read as well. Just make sure I didn't skip anybody. Yeah, that's our lineup. Okay. Oh, no worries, Vicky. You're fine. No, I actually encourage, you know, if you're feeling frustrated with something, you know, it's okay. It's okay to tune in and see what's going on with things. It doesn't always have to be, you know, rainbows and roses. So no worries at all. No, so interesting. Today I contacted 2 people to help me in finding a home to rent in Atlanta. There you go. There's your support. Finding that support, reaching out, and especially, you know, really tuning into that divine feminine. That is about receiving that support and not feeling like you have to be the one out there grinding and doing everything, which is more of a masculine energy. Not a healthy masculine energy, but it's a masculine energy. And there's always a time and a place for that masculine, go-getter, take action energy. But there also has to be that counterbalance of opening yourself. Remember, we're opening to receive the fruits of that labor we put in. Because if we're just going to be on the grind, but don't take that time back to step back and open to receive, we're going to always be on that grind and never get ahead. And, you know, so many of us are conditioned, you know, my feminines out there are conditioned that if we want to make it in this world, you know, it's a man's world. We got to do this and we got to do that. But I think so many of us are realizing that there is a time and a place for, you know, being on the grind, but then there's also the time and the place to step back and receive. All right. And I just heard the word epiphanies like in my mind. So might be some major epiphanies coming through. And of course, if you would like to get yourself a reading today to further build on what we've already established with this eclipse energy, for me to do a more personalized take on what we've established over these next 6 months, feel free to do that, and we will dive in deeper to your reading on these eclipse energies and what it means for you personally. And if you know things about your chart, that can even amplify this energy even more. Whether it's Vedic or sidereal, or Vedic or Western, just let me know what placement that would be. If you're a Western Libra but a Vedic Scorpio, or if you're a Western, you know, Capricorn, but you don't know what you are Vedic, we'll just read it as Western Capricorn. Whatever you want to do. Wondering if this energy is why men are irritating you right now. That could be Scarlet, depending where Libra falls in your chart for the more Vedic side of things, or Scorpio if you're following more Western astrology. That will be your indication of where in your chart this is taking place. If you have any planets there, and of course, if you're, say, following Western astrology, wherever your Mars is placed in your chart would really tell a story. So that's something I'm going to offer today if you guys want. If you know just some of your placements, like where Libra is, like if it's your 5th house or your whatever, or if you don't know what house it is, but you do know your ascendant, whether Vedic or Western, let me know. And if you have any planets in, you know, your ascendant, if it's happening in your ascendant, or if it's happening in your 5th house, you have planets in your 5th house, we can also kind of do that deep dive into, you know, because if it's happening in Vedic astrology, we'll dive into where Venus is placed for you and whatever. So if you want to do that, that's something I'm going to do today, if you guys want to do that. I know a few of you already have your questions out, which is cool, and we're going to dive in first for Vicky, who's a little worried now that hers might be might be negative. That's okay, dear. That's okay. You always make people feel so good, like it's okay to be vulnerable. Absolutely. Vulnerability is a superpower, at least on my channel, for sure, for sure. So let's see Vicky's question. Okay, let me go to the right mailbox. That might help. Vicky, here we are. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Hope you're well and happy Friday. I have noticed recently that I'm seeking hermit mode more often than ever. Right now, I honestly enjoy staying away from people and definitely have my guard up. It's not a great feeling, and I don't like having the mindset of I can't trust anyone. May I please ask my true, authentic spirit guides, will this improve anytime soon? Okay. I think, again, this just really ties into that ending message of our collective reading about sometimes we just feel that need to step away and receive guidance from our inner self, receive, at times we don't want to really receive everybody else's energy, and that's why we do step away. But in stepping away from not receiving that, we open ourselves to receive from ourselves. So I think it's very valid, especially at this time, that you're feeling this sense of hermit mode. Probably something to do with your own personal alignments in your chart right now. But let's tune in for Vicky, why she's feeling the need for this hermit mode, and if she'll come out of it anytime soon. We got 3 that want to come out real quick. So yeah, 2 of Swords. You're at a crossroads, just maybe possibly avoiding the truth of something. And usually this avoidance isn't on a conscious level. It's more subconscious. And it just could be you're really not vibing with a lot of people in your area, or, if there's certain people in your house that you just don't want to be around, you're kind of hermiting yourself away to your room just to protect your energy. There's just this strong sense for you to want to build walls or put up boundaries. Maybe not verbally, but more just physically, where you're just distancing yourself. And that, I think, at this time is totally valid, because you're at a crossroads of deciding one thing or another, making a choice, making a decision, moving forward, shifting timelines. It's all connected. Because look, we have the High Priestess, which came out in our collective reading. So we're already on point with these readings today being an extension of our collective. And this is about really acquiring that sacred knowledge that you couldn't get if you were, partying or hanging out with a bunch of people, putting yourself out there all the time. Of course, there's always a time and a place to do that. And there's, seasons of life where we just want to be the life of the party. We want to go out and, love on everybody and hang out and make new friends and invite new energy in. But right now, that's just not it for you. What's it for you is to be open and inviting to your own inner spirit to come through and really shine a light on your next path forward. And it is very almost hermit energy in this High Priestess. It's like an amulet of some sort, or I don't know. No, she's holding a flashlight. I thought for a second it was like a necklace connected to her neck, kind of floating off in the breeze. But no, I now see she's holding a flashlight. So it is very hermit energy. Normally that hermit holds that lantern. And then we have the Ace of Wands, which is that breakthrough. This is exactly what you want, paired up with this hermit energy of, just feeling a little confused, feeling like you want to pull back and put up some boundaries. But there is this sense of being able to have this breakthrough, this inspiration to go in a new direction. And that's why you're maybe a little confused as to why you're feeling this pullback. It's because you're about to level up and about to go in a new direction. And it feels very supportive for where you're going. Maybe not so much where you've been. And that could be the confusing part of, why do I feel so much like I want to just shove everybody away from me? Because you're leveling up. You're in the process. It's like you're in a chrysalis phase. It's very chrysalis energy. And with that death card we had, that moth, that beautiful moth coming out, emerging, that rebirth energy. You're going to emerge from this hermit phase, Vicky, just as new and improved. And I got major chills on the crown. So you do have a lot of spirit support through your own original true source creator, love and self, and your true spirit, your true essence, and your true guides, wherever they are. Probably not so much in this matrix, but beyond this matrix. You have true spirit support. And then we have the horse here with intelligence. And the horse to me is also a sign of freedom, of feeling free and wild. And thinking of wild horses, they might have their own kind of community of other wild horses, but the second anyone outside of that vibration or tribe gets into their arena, they are out. They check out. They are gone before you even knew they were there. And that's where you are right now, is you're using that innate intelligence of this High Priestess energy here to tune out from certain people's vibe, from certain people's energy. And that's why you feel this just need to put up those walls or boundaries, to really protect yourself from these lower energies, or just energies that really aren't in alignment, whether they're lower or higher or whatever. They're just no longer in alignment with you. And that's why you're feeling this need to pull back from certain people specifically. And even if you're just feeling like, man, I'm even wanting to pull back from the people I love and adore normally, don't feel like this is going to last forever, because there will come a time where you reunite with those people who really are on your true path, okay? So don't feel like you're going to be abandoning, everybody because you're feeling the hermit vibes right now. It's just going to last a minute. And, when that time is up and you're ready to put yourself back out there, you're going to be attracting in energetically people who are in more alignment with what you really want to be experiencing, and not just someone who's there just because they are there. They're there, they're adding or providing value to your life, you're providing value to their life. So please don't beat yourself up or feel like you're doing something wrong or you're being negative by not wanting to put yourself out there right now. It's actually very needed for you right now, Vicky. So embrace that. Run free with that for a while and really allow yourself to gain that intelligence that your spirit is speaking to you right now, because it's super powerful. You might have some major, remember what I think it was at the end of the collective, I said, I just heard epiphanies, like aha moments are coming in. So take it and run, my dear. Like the wild horse that you are, the free spirit that you are. Because I think you're freeing yourself. That's really the main message here for you specifically, Vicky, is you're freeing yourself from some of these matrix binds that you've had. that you've probably subconsciously known your whole life just weren't for you, but you went along, kind of that go along to get along energy. But we do what we can until we know better. And then when we know better, we can do better. And that's exactly where you're at right now. You know better, at least on some level. So now you're going to do better. Oh, we got an ad in 4 seconds, you guys. Counting down. Okay. So up next, we do have Cheyenne. I'm going to give it just a moment, just in case she was taken away by our ad. And I'm going to update my list here with Linda. I just saw one come in for Florence, a full read and a 1 card for Florence. Oh, yes. And the H1 card, which we all know 1 card for me is not really 1 card, but you guys already know that. Plus 1. Oops. 1 card. And I think that is our updated list right there. Let me just double check that email that just came in. Was not. Okay, good. We're good. Boom. Okay. You are so welcome, Vicki. Absolutely. Oh. Let's see. Oh, Libra's in Scarlett's 10th house. Awesome. So that would be like your oh my gosh, I'm already blanking on midheaven. Kind of how you present to the world. Yes. Yeah, people might see you, Scarlett, as like a people pleaser with a Libra 10th house. Not always, but a lot of times. But you're also very fair and balanced with people. At least they feel that way. Even if you don't feel that way, people feel that way toward you. Okay, so Cheyenne, I'm heading over to my email to read your question. There it is. Okay. Hi, Amanda. My boss said my duties won't change for the additional 6 months, and she would understand if I resigned if I got a job offer with kids next year. Is all what it seems, please? Ooh, the plot thickens. Let's find out. For Cheyenne, duties not changing over these next 6 months. Her boss saying she can resign is all as it seems with this energy. For Cheyenne. Ooh, 2 of coins. So this is about you really tuning into your priorities, finding the balance in what it is you are expecting and what it is that's actually happening. If that's out of balance, you're expecting one thing, but getting something completely different than what was promised, I would say that it's a red flag for you. But to me, this could also just be you trying to find the balance between where you're at and your next big contract. So yeah, it's kind of a juggling act, at least right now. But in this juggling act, you really are finding where your priorities lie. So let's just see. Is all as it seems. King of Wands. Yeah, this is about you basically setting those intentions that if this is not as it seems, that you're going to start to see those red flags or the writing on the wall, as they say, to be able to, and I think it is good that your boss did say, if at any time you do get a different opportunity, feel free to resign. That's fine. That's totally fine. So I would say just because your true heart, it really is in alignment with more working with children, I would say continue to be where you're at, but also be, looking for that next opportunity, because you don't deserve to just be put in this box and stay there just to make this boss happy or, where you're currently at happy. I would walk away down the line if they act up. Yeah. But I do see that you're going to be able to have something else lined up before you have to walk away. So it's not like you have to walk away because you don't align with them anymore and then, oh no, now I need to find another opportunity. No, I feel that as long as you're putting yourself out there and letting the, literally openly expressing to the universe or your spirit or what have you, that you are open for a new opportunity, specifically working with kids that's really fulfilling to you, that opportunity will find you. I know, though, that your boss might feel maybe sad that you're walking away if you end up walking away, because she knows she can rely on you. She knows she can count on you. And especially for the price they're paying you, you are worth more than what they pay you. I think you know that on some level, and your boss definitely knows that. They probably should be paying you more for what you do for them. And I don't know if it's just because it's a temporary thing or what have you, that they think they can get away with it. And I don't think, again, it's up to her. Like, she's setting the bar or the salary or what have you. It's just, I think she knows that, you probably do deserve more money than what's available, through the budget or whatever it is. Yeah. And you almost feel like you're selling out at sometimes. Yeah, budget restrictions. That's exactly what that feels like to me energetically, for sure. And the fact that you are working and probably deserve a lot more money for what you're doing, and you really do come to your work with this great care and effort and heart. You put your heart into it. That's not something every employee does. So that's like an added bonus to any employer you have, is when you put your heart and your soul and your effort into what it is you do, and loving your job. Or even if you don't love your job, you still take pride and responsibility and respect with your job and the people who work at your job. But a lot of times you might start to feel this resentment because you do care. You do go above and beyond, where maybe other people just skate by and like, yeah, I'm collecting my paycheck. Who cares? I'm going to the bar after this, whatever, who's with me? But where you might leave the job and you're still thinking about the job over dinner or right before you go to sleep. You're like, how can I improve? How can this be better? Tomorrow I'm going to do this, this, and this, where other people have completely checked out. So really, they don't deserve you, Cheyenne. You're so precious and such a wonderful, boon to any place you work. You are so special, and I think they know that on some level, but they can't pay you what you deserve where you're at. Let's just see, as far as you possibly taking a different opportunity while still under this contract, what that might look like. Ooh, cleansing. It's gonna make you feel so squeaky clean and new. Like, this is your fresh new energy you're bringing to your next opportunity, where you're not going to have to try to prove yourself in any way, because your actions and just who you are really going to speak for your work ethic and the fact that you do deserve, in your next opportunity, you're definitely going to be making more money as well. So yeah, I think things are as on the up and up where you're currently at as they can be, with those budget restrictions and, just the fact that this is a temporary contract. They can't really give you what you deserve. But I do see that next opportunity will be able to give you what you deserve. Okay. So don't be afraid. Don't be shy to put yourself out there and continue to seek these opportunities, specifically setting that intention to working with kids, because that opportunity will find you as long as you're open. Remember our collective energy of opening ourselves to the opportunities that want to present. But if we're too busy grinding or holding on to that old energy, we're not going to have room for these new opportunities. So being open, doing any kind of clearing or cleansing to your employability, just doing a little ritual cleansing of any kind, whatever that looks like to you specifically. If you want to use crystals, you want to use all the different elements, whatever. Setting an intention that you're clearing anything that is interfering with your highest employability. And that can benefit you a lot. Oh, your ears are ringing. Oh, you think about children every day. Yeah, and the children, I would say the children deserve to have someone like you working with them. They absolutely do. Because I know there are a lot of amazing people out there working with children. But that being said, there's the other side of the coin. There's a lot of people out there working with children who probably shouldn't be. And you're definitely not one of those. You're definitely one of the people who would really benefit. Both you and the children would benefit for you working with the children. So I'm putting it out into the universe that Cheyenne will get that amazing opportunity working with children. And of course, if you do that and maybe have Vicky help do that, that can amplify that energy to get you that amazing opportunity where you're being compensated for your value, and you're going to be able to do what you want, which is working with children. So I love that. All right. So we've got that question answered. Hope it resonated for you. And Michelle Lynn has made a donation. All right. So we will add Michelle to the list. Card read. And Linda is next. I think she had mentioned she put her question in PayPal. We will roll with that. Boom. There we go. All right. So big hugs to you, Cheyenne. I know you're going to find this opportunity, or maybe it'll find you. Who knows? But as long as you're open and taking the actions you're guided to take toward applying different places, this opportunity will definitely find you. All right. So Linda, let's go to my PayPal. Find Linda's question. So Linda, one card, what is the message my mom wants to send me today? Love it. Okay. Tuning in for Linda. What message her mom, the true spirit, the true essence of Linda's mom. Tuning in. What does she want Linda to know? What message does she want to send today? There we have it. Ooh, 9 of Pentacles. So there might be something, Linda, that you've been thinking about purchasing or doing for yourself. Or maybe you recently did something for yourself and you're maybe feeling a bit guilty, or, oh, I shouldn't have spent that money, or I should have done this thing instead. Don't worry about it. And if this is still something in the future that you're like, well, I just did this and I just did that, so how can I justify also doing this next thing? Do it. Treat yourself. That's totally what this is about, indulging yourself, because that hard work that you put in the past, it's now time for you to benefit in some way. Whether these are trips, doing something different with your appearance, spending money on a wardrobe, spending money, investing in yourself in any way. That could even be investing in some sort of business endeavor, because that will help you invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to spend a bit of money right now, because you are becoming more self-sufficient or self-reliant at this time as well. What other messages does Linda's mom have for her? These two sticking out like sore thumbs. Okay, 6 of Swords. So there's a major element of healing. Again, with this combination, there could be another trip or another travel in your near future. Although this trip or travel feels to me closer to home than maybe some of your more recent trips you've had. So this could even be like a staycation kind of energy, or just going somewhere in the local area. I'd say anywhere between where you're at and 3 hours away trip-wise. Might even be some sort of day trip, but even if you are staying overnight, this trip has this element of healing to it. There also could be communication or connection with someone online that is bringing a lot of value to your life, whether this is a YouTube video or someone you're friends with on Facebook. Something they say or do is really going to add some value, or kind of open up a can of worms in a good way for you to get some really good ideas and downloads of information. Because we also have the Ace of Wands, which is about that inspiration and just being able to have this big breakthrough or epiphany, which we really tuned into in that collective reading earlier today. So I would say this reading really is covering for you, Linda, the next 6 months or so, from eclipse to eclipse. All of it makes sense, all in caps. She's excited. Linda's excited. Yeah, there's a major breakthrough coming here. And this to me feels like you shifting gears or deciding to go in a new direction. Something that's very close to home. Whether this is moving home or, new business endeavor, or just shifting the way that you feel from the inside out or the outside in, there's something very self-centric, not self-centered, but self-centric about your reading. It is all about you. You are the center of your own universe right now, Linda. So don't feel bad about that. Don't feel guilty about that. Embrace that, because whatever it is you've got going on, whatever it is you're going to do over these next 6 months is very, very healing to you. So don't be afraid to branch out, step out of your comfort zone in some way, especially if it's going to benefit you. All right, what else does Linda need to know? Message from her mom's true spirit. Oh, we have monkey with perspective. Yeah. Instead of feeling guilty for taking care of yourself or doing what's in your best interest, instead look at it as an investment in your future. An investment not only in your future, because the people that are around you, the people that live with you, the people that are closest to you are also going to greatly benefit from what you have going on. And I have major chills as we were speaking. So you're going to get a lot of signs, symbols, and synchronicities from your mom coming up. Might even involve the animal of the monkey. So you might see a monkey on someone's t-shirt, or hear someone talking about the Chinese zodiac of the monkey. Is that even a thing? I don't know. There is one of those zodiac modalities that has the monkey in it. I don't know if it's Chinese or Mayan or what, but one of those astrologies is the monkey. She passed on 5/5 of 20. Oh, so it's her anniversary. Aw. I'm sorry, Linda, but I'm hoping that this is a happy day for you rather than a sad day. Remembering the good memories. I want to pull from this tarot deck just to see anything else your mom has for you today. Yeah, you almost feel like you're at the end of a cycle. Not quite to the end of a cycle, so you're still pushing forward and making moves and making things happen. You just returned from a trip and going on another trip on Monday, thinking of going home. 4-hour drive later this month to visit family. There you go. There you go. Yeah. And putting that visiting the family could really put things about your current energy, your current life, and where you're kind of going in the future in great perspective for you. That can be such a perspective. Maybe even certain family members and the way they're living their lives just don't align with you, but that really lets you know you're on your own path. You're on your right path by seeing how maybe certain other family members are living, and maybe even strengthening a bond with one of your family members that's been kind of, it feels very, what's the word? When you, it's just escaping me. But I'm seeing like two piano keys right next to each other and you press them both down. Dissonance, that's the word. You and this person could have some dissonance in your relationship. It's like oil and water, or, pressing two keys right next to each other on a piano. You're going to find a way to either just accept them for who they are, or you're going to find some common ground with this person. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's something you're about to close out so that you can have this breakthrough and this new direction coming for you. Yay, Linda! Super exciting stuff. It's not always going to be easy, but you really are rising above a lot of the challenge from the past. It just doesn't feel challenging to you anymore, and you're just ready to move on up. Feels good. All right, Linda, that's awesome. Yes, releasing the grief and embracing her strength that she is around me every day. Yes. Oh, 9 is your number for her birthday, and is 9-9. Oh, wow, how interesting. Her birthday was 9-9, and she passed on 5-5. So those double numbers are really powerful, symbols for you as well. So along with the monkey, you're going to be getting those double-digit synchronistic numbers, angel numbers as they call them. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, and you pulled the 2-9 cards. That's right, I did. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, there's just validation and more messages for you from her for sure. So big hugs, Linda. I hope that helped you feel her love today, because she definitely is very close at hand. So talk to her if you feel the need, and just feel her love, because her love could never go away. Much love, Linda. Big hugs. All right. Thanks again for your donation as well, Linda. All right. So up next, we got Florence full read and a one card read as well. I don't know that I remember. Oh, I just typed that earlier in a message. Feeling the love. Aw, yes. Yes, you are. That's awesome. I don't remember seeing Oh, no, there's Florence's question. Okay. And I will timestamp for Florence. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay, so Florence, we're at 1:17:16. Like countdown, 17, 16. And hey, that was the score of the baseball game my son was in last night. They won by 1 point. It was 17-16, which is a decently high scoring baseball game. Some of those major league games are like a score of 1-3 or 0-10. I guess 0-10 isn't a low scoring game, but you know what I'm saying. 0-1. All right, so there's some sort of countdown going on, Florence, but let's see for your first question. Okay. So she is staying in Ericeira. I'm probably butchering that. It's near Lisbon, okay, right now. And I have a couple more days since I'm flying home next week. Should I stay here or go to another place before I leave? Okay, so this is for her one card read. Should she stay in the place I cannot pronounce near Lisbon for a couple more days, or should she go somewhere else? Okay, staying and going. Okay. Moment of truth. Staying, you have the Queen of Swords. So this is about being honest with yourself. This is about being, no holds barred with the communication with yourself. Yep, I got her timestamp at 1:17:16. And I will hopefully remember to put that in the comment when we are done. So yeah, this is about being honest with yourself, speaking your truth, being yourself as well. And then the Four of Wands is celebrating community and unity. So if you know someone, or even if you don't know someone in maybe another kind of close by area, I would say it wouldn't be a bad idea to branch out and go see another place, because you might meet some like-minded people, or a nice community or tribe of people. So I'd say if you're being the most honest with yourself, there is this kind of urge maybe possibly for you, Florence, at this time to maybe go see something else instead of just staying there. Maybe staying there one more day and then taking the next couple of days to go somewhere new. That would be, yeah, let's just tune in if that's what she does. What's the experience? Yeah, spiritual breakthroughs. And this did come out in our collective reading as well. So the High Priestess is following us around today. Yes, she is. Yeah, because you're going to see a lot of who you are on a deeper level by maybe spending one more day where you're at and then traveling somewhere kind of close by. I don't see it being like a flight away. It could be a train ride or a car ride or something like this. But yeah, to me, it feels like a good experience. Let's just see anything that Florence might experience on this trip, maybe going just slightly away from where she's at. Yeah, love is strange, strange Valentine. Who knows? We never know when love is going to find us. But love, it doesn't always have to be romantic love. But hey, I can't ignore the fact that going to a new place with strange Valentine here, I mean, this also could be a wedding card. So, I mean, this is probably like low chance of this happening, but I have to say it because the combination is here. There is a potential, how great she may be, a potential for you to meet a future spouse on this trip. Going, not just staying where you're currently at in, it started with an E, Sierra. Oh man, again, probably butchering it, but the place that you're staying currently, if you do branch out a bit, there's a potential to meet someone who will mean a lot to you, whether this is a future spouse or like a soulmate, soul tribe type of person. Potential is there. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but the potential is definitely there. All right. So I hope that resonated for your one card and brought you some guidance that, yeah, branching out, going somewhere else could bring in some like soul tribe type of people into your life. All right. I'm also hearing possible, you get this a lot, Florence, with your travels, possible past life deja vu kind of stuff going on if you travel around a bit. Yeah, I love that. All right, so Florence also has a full read, and I want to go back up to her question. I would like to get a message from my spirit on whatever wants to come through, and could also timestamp. Yes, did that. Okay. Here we go for Florence. So message from her spirit on whatever needs to come through. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so I guess what came, because this deck did not come with a guidebook. It instead came with a cheat sheet of, I guess, wands or fire, creation, action, summer, days. So it tells you like the cheat sheet of tarot, which I didn't realize was in this deck with the rest of the cards. So it's almost like your spirit is giving you like a cheat sheet or answers to the test of life in some capacity, or you're getting a crash course, learning something very quickly. Even though she wasn't a tarot card, but I could still get a message out of her for you. I love that. So funny. I'm like, what is this cheat sheet? What else does Florence's true spirit need her to know? Ooh, burnout and uphill battle here with the 10 of Wands. So it's almost like you're unlocking some cheat codes. I just saw the like vision of the game Genie. Does anyone remember that back from the like early Nintendo days? Anyone? The game Genie? You'd attach it to your Nintendo game cartridge, and then you'd put it in the machine, the Nintendo gamer machine, the NES, as they call it, the Nintendo Entertainment System. And then you had this big book, this thick book that would come with it, and you could find the cheat codes to unlock certain things or to level up in certain ways. And that's really what I see is any burdens you're currently going through. And of course, because you are traveling, and we do know this, Florence, traveling and it's Mercury retrograde, it's almost like you can unlock cheat codes to not have that drag down, delay, miscommunication with your, travels. You're going to have an easier time than most people that are traveling during Mercury retrograde. So this is a great combination for what you're doing right now currently, which is traveling. I feel like I want to go to this deck now. We're shifting decks. All right, what else does Florence need to know from her spirit? Ooh, 3 of Swords and the Fool. So overcoming past grief, past heartbreak. So really what I'm getting with this combination is you're doing some healing. These travels, just where you're at energetically right now, there's a lot of healing energy available to you, whether you're purposely setting those intentions to heal or your spirit's just kind of doing things behind the scenes for you as you go through these days here traveling and then flying back home and everything you got going on. but your true spirit is very happy that you've taken these leaps of faith and that you have, put yourself out there. You've been traveling. You've been doing a lot of healing, whether you know it or not, in these past, months and whatnot. Let's see. Anything else that needs to come through? Ooh, the moon. Yeah, really, really tuning into your intuition. And there's even some very profound dreams coming through for you at this time. Even if they feel like on the scale that some of us were talking about earlier in the collective kind of messages about that nightmare energy that many people have been experiencing. I feel like my lighting is a bit off as well. So I'm going to move this over here. Fix the lighting in here a bit. Is that, I don't know. Did that improve anything? Probably not. So maybe you're just making some adjustments to how you intuitively get your guidance. That's really what I see, because there's a message in everything. Even the cheat sheet, there's a message in the cheat sheet. So seeing through the illusion, being able to cut to the chase of any healing that you're doing or healing that's yet to be done, you're getting to the heart of something. You're getting to the point of something as well. Seeing through the illusion, tuning even better or deeper into your intuition than you have in the recent past. It's just online 24/7 is how this intuitive nudges that you're getting feel to me. All right, what else does Florence need to know? Ooh, got two here. So Angel of Time, working too hard. And then the Faceless Ghost and the Haunted Girl, Ghost People. Okay, and I'm really getting this major download that this has to do with future energy of you, being on the move, traveling around. You might have almost felt like, the version of you that just was at home and wasn't there for the past, however long it's been, at least a month, if I'm remembering correctly. You've been gone a minute. So you might have almost, when you come back in, fly home and you're back in your day-to-day life, you almost might feel like a ghost of yourself or almost like an echo of yourself instead of like you're fully there. Your head might wander back to your travels, or you're ready for your next travel destination. And that might come with a bit of guilt coming in, like, oh no, I probably should get my head in the game and work even harder. And, or maybe there's certain things around your home that you're trying to accomplish and you feel like you're playing catch up with your schedule, with your relationships with people around your city, just with things going on around the home. You might just be feeling like you're playing catch up. But please don't feel you have to work too hard. Ease back into your life. You don't have to, show up back in full effect, full force, and just hit the ground running with being back home. You can kind of ease into it. Allow yourself that transitional time from being on the travel to now being back, solidified at home. Don't feel you have to, do all these things because you've been gone. Now you have to play catch up. Please don't feel you have to do that, because you don't have to do that. Anything else Florence needs to know from her spirit at this time? There she is, dog with trust. And it's very interesting. Dogs do this a lot when they first wake up from a nap or something. They kind of do this long stretch. Just take your time. Trust the process. Trust that you were away as long as you needed to be away, and now you're back. And you're going to trust that everything you need to accomplish or do or create or be or become is going to happen in that divine timing. And there's a sense of loyalty here. You're really going to feel loyal and trusting of your own self, of your own spirit, allowing that intuition to come online in full effect. The cheat codes that are coming in to almost just help you in just your day-to-day reality, and trust those internal nudges you're getting about shifting your direction or taking any new leaps of faith or anything going on with healing, or, again, with this combination too, you could be feeling, working too hard, feeling overburdened, overwhelmed, just even taken for granted by certain people because you're the one always showing up and doing the work and they just kind of skate by. If there's anyone in your life like that, this is about balancing that energy out as well at this time. So yeah, wow. A lot of kind of random messages, I guess, came through for you, Florence, but I think they all do tie together in a way. So yeah, take what resonates from that. I just see a lot of good new energy, but also closing out of those old cycles to gain access to more of your intuition. And I don't even see that you have to work too hard to get tuned into this healing, to really get in union with your intuition. It's just coming in full effect. I might just leave this cheat sheet in here. I think that's fun. I love it. It was definitely a fun surprise for me to see that in there. I didn't even know that card existed until I just saw it. Because I knew it didn't come with a guidebook, but I didn't need a guidebook anyway. But it came with a little cheat sheet guidebook. Crash course, if you will. All right. So I hope that resonated, Florence, brought you some clarity and guidance for your path ahead. Okay. And we will timestamp. I will try to remember to write that in a comment. All right. So I think we got another donation. Yes, from Get to Leka. Get to Leka. Full reading. And Michelle Lynn is next. And she might already have that question in PayPal. Not sure, but I will double check. Copy. Oh, I deleted the list part of my list. All right, copy and paste, and boom, there is our current lineup. Will I have a big release at the time of this full moon eclipse? Okay, let's tune in. And I want to say too, these eclipse energies, they can absolutely be felt like during the exact time of said eclipse. But at the same time, they can also be felt kind of reverberating out over the next, 6 months or so. So let's just see if you will feel a release. Have a big release at the time of this full moon. Okay. Ooh, we got 3. 6 of Wands, there's victory. That's a big yes. You will feel some healing and release. Yes and yes. Oh my goodness, Michelle, we couldn't ask for more. We could not ask for more, my dear. Look, we have the 8 of Cups. Walking away from those things that just aren't doing it for you anymore. Abandoning the old projects or the old dreams, wishes, desires that just aren't in alignment with where you're going. You're walking away from something. We also have the World, so there's completion with that. Healing also. New beginning is on the precipice as well, and just that end of a cycle. Feeling whole and complete. The job is done. The lesson has been learned. You're ready to have that big release. Absolutely. And then, of course, that recognition of your hard work and dedication to the task at hand and having that victory. So absolutely, you're going to feel a release. Even if it's more subtle, you're, just setting the intention that, hey, at the time of this, I'm not sure exactly what time it's going to be, the exact time of the eclipse. It usually lasts a while. Eclipses can last anywhere from minutes to hours, depending on how total the eclipse is. So maybe you can look up, the time frame from time to time, time A to time B of when this eclipse is taking place, in your time zone. And, we can have a big release and feel it like, in a more emotional way. We can feel it in a physical way, like our physical body's doing something. We can feel it in our more mental way, or just kind of as a sense of knowing. We're not really feeling anything, but we just have a sense of knowing that something is taking place. So that could be the case. And then Page of Swords, yeah. This is just helping you really tune into, being curious, feeling really connected to those around you, getting some really great ideas, news coming in. So there could be some news coming in as well during the time of the full moon eclipse today. And, releasing news of something, it's very interesting because what I just got intuitively was like, oh, you're hearing that a big store that you used to go to, or a place you used to go to, is closing. Yeah, totally, Cheyenne. Absolutely. So you might learn news of something closing, like they're going out of business or they're closing. And that could be more metaphorical than actual literal for you. Interpret as you will, Michelle, but that's like what I'm getting. Let's just see with this deck. Anything else Michelle needs to know about having this big release at the time of the full moon eclipse? And of course, reverberating out over the next few months as well. Ooh, that one fell. So this is something you're going to have to kind of reach for. You're going to put a bit of work and effort in to get this. Ooh, perspective with monkey yet again coming out. So you might have to work a bit or heal a bit or reach a bit to get that shift or change of your perspective coming in as a result of this big release. And as I'm putting them away, something else jumped out. Let me get it. All right. Dolphin as well with inner voice. So you're going to get a lot of information coming through with your inner voice coming in to let you know, hey, the job is done. We're complete. We've had the release, this, closing time, that song Closing Time, which is weird because, that song by, I think called Semisonic. I think they were basically a one-hit wonder in the 90s. That song Closing Time, I think a lot of people know that song. And you think, oh, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Closing time, okay, the place is closing down. But that song is not actually about closing anything. Maybe a cycle, sure, but the song is actually about the guy wrote it for his child being born. So as one thing ends, closing time, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You're being kicked out of the womb. You're being kicked out of your chrysalis, Michelle. So there's a very profound message, I think, even coming through in maybe the lyrics of that song, if you want to look that up. Wanting to release, to make space, and to know where to put my energy next so it is nurtured. Closing time. We used to always sing that at my job. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're, at the end of a long shift, you're like, yay, it's closing time. Totally. I love that. Well, yeah, I see there's a lot of new energy coming in as you close these old cycles, closing that out, completing these old cycles. Maybe because you mentioned your job and that song reminded you of your job, that it's time to leave the safety of the chrysalis of that job and go in a new direction job-wise. Maybe you're getting that next job. Yeah. So if you're feeling up to it with this big release, releasing the past, releasing past versions, past beliefs about yourself, and stepping into new territory, yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff. So put yourself out there if you feel so inclined. And yeah, love it. Thanks again for your donation, Michelle. All right. Itchy nose. Ooh, itchy nose. You know what that means. Good luck is coming in to support you. You are so welcome, my dear. Absolutely. Okay, so let me just double check that we've got, yes, Cheyenne has also donated again. Oh, we got another one from Brianna, came in right before Cheyenne's. 3 minutes ago. Cheyenne's was 1 minute ago. So just make sure this is Brianna. I see BRI. I'm going to assume, but yes, it is Brianna. So Brianna 1 card and Cheyenne also 1 card. Let me update. And of course, get to Leka. We are now going into your question. And she, oh, it is occurring right now here and will continue for another 1.5 to 2 hours. Okay. Yeah. So I guess that eclipse is happening right now. All right. So get to Leka is next. And then we have Brianna 1 card, Cheyenne 1 card. Card. Cheyenne. Type that all out right. Copy and paste. Nope, I have misspelled Cheyenne's name. I'm a stickler for the grammar. Here we go. Funny enough, I don't care what other people do with their grammar, but when I'm typing, I like it to be as the best it can be. But when other people, like, I'm not the grammar police. I have friends who are the grammar police. I'm not. If it's my own grammar, sure, I'm the grammar police, but not for everybody else. I guess I hold myself to a different standard with my grammar. I don't know. Okay, so Get to Leka wants to know what is coming up in the next 5 to 6 months in life and career. Any changes which are triggered by the eclipse energy? And of course, Get to Leka, if you know where this eclipse is happening in your chart, which house, that can help me. And especially if you're following either Western or Vedic, I can really fine tune it for you. And, really diving into your own planetary alignments. If you don't know them, though, of course, the cards will still tell us your story. I think we can just get even more detail if you do know where in your chart this is taking place. 1st house, 10th house, 12th house, whatever. But yes, what's coming in the next 5 to 6 months in life and career, and any changes which are triggered by the eclipse energies for Get to Leka. Tuning into her true spirit for the most correct guidance. Ooh. So we have the Hanged Man and the Hermit. Ooh. This is actually such a powerful combination, and I'll tell you why. I know a lot of people will see this and go, ugh, no. What this is going to do, wow, that's now very bright. Let me turn her down a bit. I swear I'm not translucent. Yes, I am very, very pale, but not translucent as this light is making me look right now. Okay. Woo. Yeah, see, things are flying off the shelves here. Let me grab them. Okay. So what I want to tell you about this is, over these next 5 to 6 months, Get to Leka, it's going to become very obvious to you in certain areas. Specifically, career is really what I'm tuned mostly into. That you're just feeling stuck or stagnant in career, and you are ready for something different. So that could look like you changing companies or changing roles at the company. Or I even see something like, from time to time in big corporations, oftentimes, not every time, but here and there might be a need for a restructuring or like a consulting company to come in and see where things could be more streamlined or work better, more efficiently. There might be some sort of thing like that going on at your current company that might help boost up what you would rather be experiencing, rather than you just having to, be a cog in this machine and be, stretched very thin, overburdened, overtaxed, just really tired of the status quo, ready for just things to flow better and not be so grind, grind, grind. So you might even be pulling your energy back and trying to work more solo on certain projects, or where you're having a little more time to slow things down and not feel like you have to rush and rush and rush. So there could be an element of that. But I think at the heart of this combination for you in your career, you're just realizing that it feels kind of like a dead end for you. Not because of your skill level or talent, but just because you've kind of been pigeonholed, bird pun, kind of put in a box in your current company, and people can't see your talent outside of just this box, almost that this corporation or certain people there have created for you to try to fit into. And you're realizing you want something more, you want to kind of expand and try different things, and maybe even put your foot or step your foot into waters that don't feel so chaotic and busy all the time. Where it's not like you're having to put out all these fires, with, certain systems are down and this is going on and that's going on, and just feeling pulled in many different directions. Or if you are working on one big project, it's almost like you're doing all the bells and whistles and pieces of the project and not getting a lot of help from other people. So something's got to give is what I'm hearing. So you're either telling some superior or higher up that, hey, I'm doing too much work for one person. We need to make a shift. This has to change in some way. Or you're just deciding enough is enough here. I'm going to go to a corporation where they actually value what I do and, take my, respect me enough to listen when I have a complaint or a concern. Let's just see anything else that needs to come up. Forget to Leka. Next 6 months. Ooh, yes, this one keeps coming out. It's the High Priest rather than the High Priestess. So in this deck, this is actually the Hierophant energy. But that also, remember, that also came out in our collective reading, if you did see it. If you didn't see it, you can go back and see it. Yeah, you already spoke up, fought a lot, and he went to his supervisor, and I am stuck. Yeah. But I see this changing, the status quo of what's going on. And I'm so proud of you that you stood up for yourself and said something, because you're not the only person feeling the way you do. And there's kind of like, once one person stands up, another person will feel comfortable enough to do standing up for themselves and themselves and themselves. So it'll be kind of a ripple effect. You might see other people finally speaking up and saying, we don't want to work this way anymore. This is not right. This is not fair. And we deserve better. And standing or stepping out of just the status quo, or, just the structure that's currently in place, there's going to be a major shift. He's got this like sickle here that kind of comes in and cuts everything down, or harvests what's working, but then can replant, restructure what's not working. So we can interpret this two different ways, Gitaleka, or maybe these are both just two potentials for you. Either there might be a major restructuring of your current company to where you're realizing, I'm ready to, not have to be so overburdened here, and things will be restructured to where you won't be so overburdened, where you can kind of take your time and have time to actually really think about what's going on in these projects and stuff. Or you are just deciding, I feel stuck, this is a dead end, I don't like this anymore, and I'm going to go seek out a better opportunity. And then you're leaving that job and going somewhere else over these next 6 months. It could be either or maybe both things are happening in tandem. And even still, you're realizing, even though they're restructuring or trying to make these changes, I still feel stuck and I still want to go somewhere else. So if Gitaleka does go somewhere else, what is going to be the experience? Yeah, look at this celebration. You're going to feel more at home. You're going to feel more included. You're going to feel listened to and respected. It's going to feel like a match made in heaven kind of vibe, or like you're feeling the love, like we were saying in Linda's reading. You're feeling more appreciated and respected if you do go somewhere else. It's going to be a better fit for you. Even if it's still a corporate environment, it's just a much better corporate environment. And maybe even because the Four of Wands does deal with the home. There could be an opportunity where you're doing something from home. Again, working solo, but yet still in contact with other people, to where you can work from home and still be part of a corporate environment, but doing it remote. That could also be a possibility with this combination. Okay. I want something from this deck. Anything else Gitaleka needs to know? Ooh, two of them want to come out. Expansion and inspiration. We have the Locust and the Star. And the Locust, usually come out at the end of a cycle or the beginning of a new cycle to, wipe that slate clean is kind of the energy here. But this is about expansion. And I also heard exploration, exploring your options so you don't have to feel stuck anymore. Exploring your options, and you're going to find something that may at first feel like it's, well, I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do, but the more you look into it, or if maybe you have an interview and then a second interview and you're like, wow, maybe this could be a good fit for me. Yeah, so there is expansion in your career coming up over these next few months, and you're feeling much more inspired. Instead of dreading going to work, you're going to feel excited to go to work. We touched a lot on career. I just want to tune into just life in general as well for Gitaleka. Life in general, please. Ooh, Queen of Cups, yeah. Having more time to have just, there's no stress, no rush here. It's very calm, cool, inspired. We have that word inspiration here. It just feels much more like a breath of fresh air as far as being able to live the life you want and enjoy the life you're having, rather than just being tossed to this thing and that thing and feeling tired and stressed and overburdened all the time. There's this element maybe of a vacation coming in, so specifically around a body of water or a place of water, where you can really connect to the environment around you, Mother Nature. Yeah, so there might be a trip coming up in the next few months, or 5 to 6 months from now, to help you recharge your battery and refill that cup for yourself. Really tune into your intuition and really fuel and feed your creativity as well. Beautiful. Yeah, and then look that's on the back of the deck. We got the Fool. I love it. Yes, new beginning. There's definitely a closing out of one cycle, that Locust energy, and a beginning. And, taking a leap of faith, even if you don't know exactly how everything's going to pan out, you're still taking action and reacting and responding to what's going on anyway. And it's going to pay off in a big way for you, because you're going to get out of that stagnancy energy or just feeling stuck where you're at. You're going to feel much more free and expanded. Absolutely. So I hope that resonated, Gitaleka. This, to me, feels really good. It feels really good. It just might be, you've already taken action by speaking up for yourself, so you're already taking steps in the right direction. So either things will shift where you're currently at, or you're just realizing this is a dead end. Nothing's ever going to change. I'm the one that's going to have to be the change I want to see in my reality, and then you go find a different opportunity. But either way, you're going to feel a lot more alive and excited and free after these next 5 or 6 months. So you'll have to keep us posted what's going on with all that. I'm always so curious what you guys have going on, especially after we have these big decision points of, maybe changing jobs or moving or getting out of relationships or getting into new relationship. I'm just curious what you guys got going on. All right. You are so welcome, my dear. Thanks again for your lovely donation. All right. So up next, we have Brianna, and it looks like her question is already over there on PayPal. So I'm going to check it out in my email. Brianna, I feel like this half eclipse is giving me a lot of insight about my current energetic state. Half of me is healthy and ready. The other half needs a deep change, a death and a rebirth. Can I get a 1-card pull for what I must do to enact the self-induced transformation? Boom! I love it. Yes, you want to detonate your own tower. And I actually have a reading called Detonate Your Own Tower on the Done Creative. I posted it in early 2021, so it's been a hot minute. But that was probably, to date, one of my top 3 most powerful. Those people looking to make the change in their life for themselves, probably my top 3 most powerful readings that I've ever created as like a pick a card. So Detonate Your Own Tower, pick a card on the Done Creative if you want to check that out, Brianna. And of course, this to me feels really infused in like an extension of the collective reading we did earlier with that death card, and then the rebirth that comes after it, and shifting from the inside out. You're right on time, my dear. So let's just see. I'm going to reread the last part of your question so we get it right here. Yes. So yeah, current energetic state, half of me is healthy. There's a card already coming out. Yes, look at that. There's the healthy part, the strength that you've got. You're halfway there. And then the other half needs that change, a death and a rebirth. Can I get a one card pull for what I must do to enact this self-induced? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Okay, we're gonna get into this. Let me get back to my. Woo! Okay. Yes. You are feeling the anxiety, the intense pressure, the stress of this part of you that just isn't where you are, like energetically and on a more spirit level, where you are, where you have the potential to be. It's just not there for you. It's not it for you anymore in certain ways. But in other ways, boom, you are owning it, queen. Look at this. Yes, the strength card. You really are having that courage to, find where you can control your reality and, overcoming any challenge or obstacle in your way. So the fact that you're already halfway halfway there, I said halfway where? Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the sticking point is you're not unsure. And a lot of times if we're tuning into shadow energy, which I also have a reading for that, I promise I'm not trying to, drum up business over on my other, I don't get paid for those really anyway, but yeah, I've got to pick a card for that. It's like, oh, I've got a whatever for that. Well, I've got to pick a card for that. But look at this. Yeah, this is feeling that, just anxiety or feeling helpless in some capacity. But this is really tuning into that shadow energy. And the more spirit part, the more online, the strengthened, courageous part of you can really help illuminate that shadow. So utilizing where you're already gaining ground and really feeling your potential coming and bursting forth, utilizing that part of you to tune in or shine that light on your shadow is really going to be what's going to benefit you and bring that shadow up to meet you where you are on these higher, frequency parts of you. So let's see anything else. How she can detonate her own tower, so to speak. Right. Yeah. Knight of Cups. Okay. So this is really tuning into your most idealistic version of you and of reality and what you came here to do, what you can create, who you can become, because that potential is already but a seed planted within you that just needs to be nurtured. And, again, with the shining the light on something, a seed can't grow in the dark. Your potential can't grow when it remains the shadow. But the shadow isn't all bad because there's a lot of amazing potency and abundance and fertility in the shadow. It's the womb energy, but it's also the darkness, which means we just haven't shed light onto it. But when we can water it and nurture it and shine that light on those seeds of potential, which, sometimes we have to go searching for them. That's why we've got the flashlight going on with the kind of, strength of the sun. It acts as kind of the flashlight in the sky for us all, and it helps grow those seeds of potential. But this is you tuning into your, if money was no object, what would I do? If all these control grids and systems and matrices weren't in place, what would I do with my life, with my energy, with my potential? And just acting as if that is, because that's what the strength does. They don't care about the matrix. They don't care about the, control in place. They just tune into their own, they live their own life and, kind of let other people do what they do and they do what they do. And that's what you're doing, is almost just acting as if you don't live and exist in this matrix at all. And that will really help those belief systems, which, maybe there's some limiting beliefs hiding in that shadow. But once you can alchemize or transmute those limiting beliefs, Brianna, you can really open, the floodgates for some major potential, major, more spirit-led avenues for you to traverse and travel will open up. Anything else she needs to know? And I think it's very fitting. This is a yoga deck, by the way. Yeah. And we have Swan with beauty. So there might even be some transformation you're doing from the inside that, that inner beauty would also start to be reflected on the outside. Your body might start shifting and changing in ways that you never thought possible. One thing for me, even up to age 34, I had really bad acne. I'm like, I should have grown out of this in my teens and maybe early 20s, but I'm 34 and still having a face full of breakouts. And, I just turned 41 last week, or I guess, yeah, last week. It was last Friday. It's a week ago, right? Or was it 2 weeks ago? See, no, it was a week ago. The 28th. See, I can't do math. Yeah, it was last week, last Friday, a week ago. But I just do my regular skincare. Probably, I'm probably the least skincare person of ever. But like, I do my like due diligence with like kind of the bare minimum. I don't do anything fancy. But I was just like looking in the mirror the other day, and I used to like as a younger 30-year-old, to more mid 30-year-old, I had a lot of like pock marks and, acne scars and stuff. But I was looking in the mirror the other day and I'm like, where did they all go? They should still be there. Like my skin has never looked better. I mean, yeah, I'm 41. I got some fine lines and whatnot. Uh, but my skin has never looked better. And, just me glowing and growing from the inside out, doing the healing from the inside out. I never thought this would be a potential for me to have clear skin. My acne scars have all but disappeared, gone. I don't know where they went, and I don't care. They're gone. Sweet. Sayonara. We do not need you to send a postcard. Goodbye. So I got major chills now. And now Mama Monica's, of course, coming through, and she's saying, as far as I never thought this would be a potential for me. To me, this feels genetically linked, and especially to, disease and I'm hearing even like weight gain. I don't know. Was Mama Monica had maybe a little bit to love, not like a lot to love, but maybe a little more to love than average, and she would own that and admits that. Like she's stepping up. Maybe an ample bosom as well. Like she's showing up. Like I'm not afraid. I'm flaunted. I'm loud and proud. Kind of vibe. Like that's how she's showing up for me. So there might be something that she struggled with in her younger years that maybe subconsciously or maybe even more consciously you picked up as something that would probably be a struggle for you just because, genetics and whatnot, that you can completely avoid. Could even be the heart disease and stuff. Could even be that. But it also feels to me like it might like resonate like in your like outer appearance. So something that might be going on within will be reflected outside of you that you're not going to have to experience that maybe she experienced and other family members that are of the older generations experienced. Yeah, you're really transforming, from the inside out. And, every time the swan comes up, I'm reminded of the story of the ugly duckling. The ugly duckling thought he was ugly the whole time. The whole story, he's walking around thinking, I'm just the ugliest duckling there ever was. But instead, he was a beautiful swan. So you're really tuning in and uncovering that the things that you once thought were, not the best about you, the more shadow or the more, things that were insecurities for you are actually shining as major strengths for you coming up. So yeah, this feels like there are layers and layers to this reading that you might want to go back and unpack these at a later date. Watch this again, maybe in a month or two. I think I've said that for like your last couple of readings, but I really feel there's so much shifting and it's not all happening overnight. But as you kind of look back on these readings, you might really start to see how you've changed, how you've morphed, how you've shifted from the ugly duckling, as you might have interpreted, to more of the swan energy. So yeah, what an amazing reading. Thanks, Mama Monica, for your help. I love that. That is so cool. All right, Cheyenne is the last donation that I have. So anyone else looking to get their donation question in, now's the time. Cheyenne says, my question isn't PayPal on the topic. I'm sitting in the car with Vicky and we want to leave, but we stuck out. Aw. Yeah, I could totally feel that. All right. So here we go for Cheyenne. I still haven't told my family about my license. If I do say it, will reactions be high? I'm going to be honest and say I don't want to drive them around. Okay. I'm already hearing, very funny, because I heard this earlier, like less is more. So it might be that, is it really pressing that they know? If you feel bad about like lying by omission or whatever, I just don't see like a big, one of these was flipped. I think there's a message in it for you. Ooh, the Emperor, standing in your own authority. I love it. I don't know that, they need to know. It's on a need to know basis. But let's just see if Cheyenne does tell them. How will they react? How will they respond? Yeah, 9 of Coins. Indulgence, thriving, self-reliance. I think they will try to indulge in what you have going on. I have to put on N stickers, but they'd cop it. Okay. Yeah, they'd probably see what you've got going on and put it all together eventually. So yeah, maybe honesty is the best policy as far, and you just literally setting your boundaries and becoming the authority of your own driver's license and your own vehicle for them to, you saying, I'm the boss here and I will indulge you or allow you only when I say. But if you don't want to indulge them at all, this is you being self-reliant and just letting them also be self-reliant, not allowing them to come in and take any kind of advantage, because this is your hard work and you've worked hard. You've worked very hard to get this driver's license and have this independence in your life. And they shouldn't just get to ride the coattails and have the advantage because of it. Oh, it looks like we have an ad coming up in 4 seconds. So I'll take a quick little pause and then we'll finish your reading, because I don't want you to miss it if you get taken away by an ad. Okay. So hopefully Cheyenne and Vicky are back. But yeah, let's just see. I'm gonna get, yeah. Okay. So 4 of Wands, this whole stack came out. I'm gonna just read them all. 4 of Wands was on top though. So happy family life. We've got 8 of Wands, something is shifting quickly. We've got some male in your life that is connected to their emotions in a non-toxic way. They're not presenting toxically. And then new relationships, joy, happiness, self-love with the Ace of Cups here as well. So yeah, there's rapid change, a domino effect that could come in with the emotions of the males, or one male or multiple males in the household could be triggered. But with the Ace of Cups coming out, this is about loving yourself above what they might think or say or do because of the news that you have to share. This is you honoring you above all of them and allowing your hard work to pay off and indulge yourself, not them. So whether you tell them or not, I see you, if you do stand in your boundaries, you're going to have a much easier time than if you tell them, no, I'm not going to take you somewhere, and then the next day you're taking them somewhere. Because they can't, they will not respect any future boundaries if that's what's going to happen. So if you do tell them, and of course this is your choice, your decision, if you do tell them, I would be very firm, like you were saying, I would let them know, hey, I'm not driving you everywhere. I would be very firm in that and never sway, never let them break you down, wear you down, convince you to do otherwise. Because the second you do, your boundaries have been compromised. Yeah, because you're expanding your boundary to, you take up space finally. You're taking up space. You're the one owning your aura. You're the one owning your boundaries and not allowing them to make you feel like you have to shut yourself away or pull away. You're setting the boundary, and if they cross it, there's going to be hell to pay. Because you shouldn't have to shy away or hide yourself away or sneak around, kind of like you're doing right now. And I know, I get it. But, you shouldn't have to. So this is about, if you do tell them, setting those boundaries and freely and proudly coming and going in your car as you see fit without having to answer to anyone but yourself. Yeah. So I feel like I just want one more word of advice or wisdom for Cheyenne about telling the family. Yeah, you wouldn't do full stop. You're so welcome. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Out trick-or-treating. We're here. Yeah. And again, this to me feels like they're going to trick-or-treat your energy field, your boundaries. Like they're going to knock on your door and show up and ask for something. But that doesn't mean you have to give them what they're asking for, because they're going to be there. As long as you live in that household, they're going to be there. And they're going to try, as they might, to encroach on your boundaries. But you don't have to be the one to say, yeah, sure, here's a whole bunch of candy. Come on. Come one, come all. You can take it all. No, this is you setting the very clear boundary and sticking to it. And one more. Dress of Alchemy. Release your power. The Emperor. Absolutely. We're come full circle now. So yeah, this is about you. Oh, and Master number 33. That might mean something to you. So yeah, there's some very powerful energy you're exuding by saying, if you do communicate to them that, yes, I do have my license, saying, yeah, I got my license. But that doesn't mean you got my license. I got my license. Yeah, so I think they might try, just energetically what's going on here with the trick-or-treat card. Once you tell them and you set that boundary, it might be a few days, few weeks, few whatever, but they're going to start to try to nitpick at that boundary and try to find a little, hole in the fence of your boundary that you've placed. So it's going to be up to you to remain strong and not allow them to run you down, wear you down, break you down, to cave to what they want you to do. So it's going to be up to you, which is good. That's good news because you're in control of the situation. So that's really good news. It's just remaining in control of the situation is where the nuance is here in your reading. So you got this. You got this. Big hug, Cheyenne. I'm wishing you the best because this cannot be easy territory to tread for sure. You're in a difficult situation. So my heart does go out to both you and Vicky for having to continue to sustain this living situation long term. I'm hoping and hoping and hoping it won't be too much longer term. Hoping and hoping and hoping. All right. All right. So I think that is going to conclude our live stream today. I didn't see anyone else saying they were going to donate, so I think we've reached the end of the road today. But yeah, this was fun. And if you're just kind of tuning in now and you didn't see our collective reading at the beginning, you can check that out just when this posts. You can just go right to the beginning. I am going to go and timestamp Florence's timestamp here. If I don't forget, I shouldn't. I'm just remembered, so I'm good. As long as I close out in the next minute or two, I won't forget. So yeah, if you are looking for other content from me, you can find it over on Harmony Portal Tarot or the Done Creative. Both of those are linked in the description below. I've got different pick a cards. I've got daily messages. And one fun thing you can do is I have the Daily Dose playlist, the Daily Dose Messages playlist. You can put that on shuffle and get yourself a message just kind of by chance, by way of algorithm, to get yourself a little message for the day. That's something that you could do if you feel so inclined. Otherwise, I'm going to go. I hope you all have a fabulous and wonderful weekend. Don't let those eclipse energies get you down. Remember, you're rising above. You're claiming your power. You're tuning deeper into your spirit as a result of these eclipses rather than allowing them to tear you down. You've got this. Exercising your free will. And yeah, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. All right, you guys, have a wonderful, blessed, happy weekend, and I will see you next time. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things, and I really, truly do hope to see all of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Oh, hi, Sandy. I was just about to leave. I have my red button almost ready to press. If you wanted to donate, I can totally hold on. Otherwise, if you were just popping in to say hi, hi. Let me know. I don't want to leave you hanging if that's what you wanted to do. We'll take a drink of my water, though, while I wait. Hope Sandy is doing well. Nope, just hi. Okay, good. I didn't want to leave you hanging, my dear. All right, so have a wonderful everything, you guys, and I will see you next live stream. Oh, Sandy, check out the collective message at the beginning. You can even put it on 2x speed to really get that message there quicker, because I like to take the first little bit of the live stream to kind of tune in with everyone and check on it and just talk about the energies and stuff. So yeah, if you wanted that collective reading, I think we definitely started after the 17-minute mark. It was probably even farther off than that, but yeah, check it out. All right, you guys. Bye.